So this video here is going to illustrate how we generated over 100 qualified leads in 2 months for a VA placement agency. So they were running cold emails when we initially engaged with them, but it was not working out that well for them. They were only generating a fraction of the leads you see on the screen right now. So our job here was to essentially come in and just improve the system, make it better. And so I'm going to show the things that we actually did to get to a point where they can get about 50 qualified leads per month. So let's get straight into it. So the first step was better targeting and segmentation. So the lists that they were basically sending emails to were too broad, first of all. So these were kind of scattered in terms of their industry and scattered in terms of their job titles, which is not ideal. So what we wanted to do was, and actually before I go into that, the reason why this is an issue to begin with is because the value proposition gets diluted and it's not precise when you're doing very broad targeting. So many people miss out on a lot of leads because they're just taking their entire market and then just putting them into the same campaign. Whereas you should actually be segmenting and making your messaging more relevant for each specific industry and job title. So that's what we did. We segmented into audiences, industries, job titles, etc., with more precise targeting. So what we also did here was we wanted to expand their total addressable market, but not in terms of actually like making their ICP broader, but just finding more data, finding more people that we can reach out to by leveraging more databases. So one of the biggest levers in cold email is increasing volume, and you can't increase volume if you don't have enough data. So mapping out more of their TAM would enable us to send more emails, which I'm going to get to in just a moment. So that's one thing we did as well. Now, the last thing I want to mention on this part is pre-qualification. So if you're just scraping from databases like Apollo or LinkedIn Sales Navigator, the data is going to be super inaccurate, especially on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And so what you want to go ahead and do is basically use a data enrichment tool like clay.com connected with your favorite LLM. So we use ChatGPT for this purpose. And then we basically make ChatGPT go through all the different data points about each company on the list to make sure that they fit the ideal customer profile. This is what we call pre-qualification. And then we remove the bad data. And this gives a massive increase in data quality. And if you combine better data quality with more volume, already there, your results are gonna like triple just from doing these things. So this was the first step. The second step was increasing volume, right? So we did actually a 5x in volume because the market was there. The market was big enough to increase the volume like this. So this is a huge lever because more emails equals more deals. So what we basically did for them was create a decentralized cold email infrastructure, setting up a bunch of different secondary domains, and then forwarding all those domains to their main domain, and then setting up email accounts under each of these. So we could send thousands of emails every single day. And prior to engaging with us, they were only sending a couple hundred per day. So this was a massive boost in results just by doing this alone. The third step here was to optimize speed to lead. So when we initially engaged with them, there was kind of a lack when it came to receiving a response and actually replying to the lead. And there are numerous studies on this. Increasing speed to lead is one of the biggest things that you can do to better your results. So what we basically did in this case was we got their speed to lead from 4 hours all the way down to 15 minutes. So a massive improvement in speed to lead, which also increased the amount of bookings. So like the lead to booking ratio significantly. We also optimized the reply templates. So what a lot of people do when they receive a positive response is they have a very basic answer, basically. So it's like, yeah, book a meeting with me, right? And that's all they do. Maybe they have a quick, like, few bullet points about what they do. But you want to really detail your reply templates. And ideally, you also want to personalize them based on the specific person that responded. So that's what we did too. We optimized the reply templates. We did that in conjunction with the optimization of speed to lead. And this made sure that we could get a lot more meetings booked from the leads that we generated. So that's basically going to cover the three major things that we did for this company. If you're interested in more details about exactly how our system works and how we optimize all of these things, you can check out the link in the description for our website, skillsprint.io, and it's going to show you exactly how the system works. And if you want to work with us, you can also do that. So appreciate you watching this video and have a good day.